Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. It's my first Get Ready With Me of the year and I wanted to introduce you to a second project pan that I'm doing. I showed you the intro to my Team Project Pan one, the rolling full face body hair care, but my friends Simona and Laura on Instagram, I will leave their handles down in the description box. They have started a 22 less project pan that is a continuation, let's say, or a new version of a project pan that they did last year that was to finish 21 products in 2021. This year, however, they changed things up because finishing 22 products is hard and it requires some planning. So this year they switched things up in a 10 plus 12 times 10 type of formula, and it's 10 products you're supposed to finish and 12 products that you're supposed to use 10 times. I loved the idea and I was like, I'm gonna join. So there's gonna be some overlap with my other project pan, mainly in the finishing products, because yeah, I want to finish these products. I need to focus on them. I cannot have two project pans with a bunch of different things. And for this project pan, you're not really going to get updates on YouTube, but on Instagram in my stories probably is where I will do those. And I have chosen out my 10 products to finish and 12 products to use 10 times. And I wanted to do a full face and talk to you about the products. So let's get started. I just came out of the shower. Andrea is sleeping and we have time to do makeup. I'm starting mixing the primer that I want to finish, which is this Burberry, what is it called? I'll never remember. Fresh Glow Nude Radiance in shade 01, together with my dwindling, it's really low, Estée Lauder Double Wear. These are two products I want to finish this year. And the reason why is that they are quite old to me. The primer was gifted to me by a friend, and the foundation I bought and I used for my, did I use it? No, actually I just bought it for my wedding, but then I ended up using a different one in my wedding party in 2018. So it's old and it needs to go. So I want to use these products up, and to be honest, I am so close to finishing the foundation that I'm really excited for that. It's been with me for way too long, and overall I think it has quite a bit of coverage and I prefer a little bit of a lighter one. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that foundation to add some coverage, like on my chin, on this cheek that didn't have a lot of product, and a bit of my forehead. I usually mix it in with this primer, mainly because I don't like putting on a primer and then putting on a foundation, but I do like thinning down my foundation with this primer. Another product that I want to finish is my more mattifying, let's say, primer that I have been using for a long time, and it's down to here. But this is also part of my other project plan, so it's not really interesting for this. I don't have a concealer in this project, but I'm going to just use the one that I am working on for in general project pans, and that is the Clio Makeup Oh My Love concealer. It is a nice medium cover and I actually quite enjoy using it, but as I explained in the other video, I discovered that I really like the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I want to make sure that I don't leave my liquid concealer just hanging and not using them because I'm using the other one. So I'm gonna focus on finishing these up this year and use them as much as possible together with the other one, because of course I still want to enjoy my soft matte concealer. I had so much stuff in front of me that I couldn't see myself in the mirror. This is a little bit better. Still far, but a little bit better. I had this nice friend coming out yesterday, and of course I cannot keep myself from picking at it. So now it's a scab and now it's difficult to cover, but that's fine. One of the products that I want to use at least 10 times this year is my Hourglass Unlocked palette. I have this also from 2018 and I don't use it a lot because I just forget. and it has everything. It has a powder or 2 powders, a bronzer, highlight, and 2 blushes. For today, I am going to use the powder, the first one right here. The other one is way too dark for me, so I don't think I'll ever use it. It also doesn't really work for me as a, how do you call it, like using it on the outer part of my face, because it just too many steps. I'm not that type of person. And I would usually like set my face with the more mattifying powder, but let's see how this goes. I don't know, I like to experiment a little bit. I will use also from this palette the highlighter right here, which is beautiful. And yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. I really like these powders, and I really like to have just one of these mini palettes. I wanted at some point to buy a big size of the powder in Dim Light, I think it was called. But I better first finish this one before I actually feel the need to do anything else. For blush and bronzer, there's a few other products that I want to use 10 times. This one right here is the Hourglass Ghost Blush Palette. And the other cheek products that I have is the Jouer Blush Palette in Cheeky Summer. And it contains these beautiful shades, a more terracotta and a more peachy shade. And then the Jouer Bronzer Duo, I have the shade Medium to Deep. And you can see that the medium shade is what I can use the most. The deep one only in the depth of summer, if I ever go and go to the beach more. So I'm gonna take now the medium bronzer and just apply it with a big fluffy Zoeva brush. I used these again recently just to see if I wanted to keep them or declutter them. And these powders are just so good. They have a slight radiance to them, and they're easier to use than, let's say, I don't know, a Nabla Skin bronzing. The color suits me better. I just really like this powder. For blush, I'm gonna wait until I figure out what to do on my eyes, because that's also something. And I still have to think about it. So we're gonna continue with my brows. There's a few products that I want to finish, and these are part of my first 10. And there's a brow gel, the Anastasia Brow Gel, the Colourpop Brow Pen, and the Glam Shop Brow Pencil. I'm gonna use this one today. They sent this to me, but I really like it, so I am very happy to use it. I am not a big brow pencil person, because I personally like a more fluffy brow look, and then that works best if you have a very fine tip that allows you to draw hair strokes. And actually I realize you guys have the mirror in front of you. So with this one, I have a harder time drawing hair strokes because it's a little bit thicker than a pen, and therefore I just want to use it up because I like it, but it's just the last brow pencil standing, let's say. There we go. It has its pros and cons. It's a very quick and easy way to do brows, and it's nice. The color is a little bit cooler than I would normally go to, but it's quite neutral. But I have warm red hair color, and I prefer something a little bit warmer personally. Then again, it's not the end of the world. If I wanted, I could also use a tinted brow gel to color my hair, but I think it looks quite okay. Anyways, the color is quite neutral, not too cool toned. Now applying my MAC Prep and Prime Eye Primer. That is actually a sample, the bottom end of the one of Mariam that she gave me to try if I liked the formula or if it worked better for me in terms of creasing of eyeshadows. And I still don't know if it works better than my old Milani one that I finished last year, but now I have it and I'm gonna finish it, and I always end up putting too much. Now I have, as you can imagine, a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I have included a lot of them in this project of 10 uses, let's say. I have my 3 Natasha the Nonamini palettes, and that's because I never reach for them because they're not in front of my eyes and they're minis. So I have a bit of a lesser choice in color story. Then again, they're both really great. I have the Mini Gold, I have the Mini Star, and I have the Mini Glam. The Mini Glam is the one that I use the most, to be honest, because it's the one that I kind of take to go for a weekend away at my in-laws or things like that. Another palette that I want to use 10 times this year is the Wilderness palette by Beauty Bay. It has quite a colorful color story, and I'm afraid I'm not going to use it as much, and that's why I wanted in this project to actually give it some love. The other one is the Glam Shop Camo palette. This was kind of on the chopping block for my declutter because the two shades I love the most are these two. And I can use this in the inner corner. These are nice as well, but the formats I don't really care for. So I never reach for this palette because it has to always be in combination with another one. And I thought together with the Wilderness palette, I have solved my matte eyeshadow problem. And finally, I added my Pat McGrath Nocturnal Nirvana quad in here because, again, I barely use it. I forget that I have it, and it is not a standalone eyeshadow palette because it has these funky colors. So what I'm actually gonna do today is gonna set up the mattes with the Wilderness palette and then use the Glam palette as my shimmers. So I tick 2 boxes in one time. Ha! Such a smart girls, this one. I'm going to start by taking a small Rephr 14 brush and the shade Leaf from the Wilderness palette. It's the most unique light green shade that I have in my collection. I did a full video trying to dupe this palette and looking into all of my singles to compare the colors that are in there to see if I had doubles or things like that. And especially this shade Leaf was one of those that I didn't really have anything similar to. And I really enjoy it. So it's a win-win. And the quality of this palette is also very nice. You have to think that it's 18 euros full price, and it's been like either 50% or 20% or 30% off the past 2 months, I want to say, which is quite something. The one shade that I don't enjoy using really a lot is this one that I'm using right now, which is the shade Eucalyptus, because it's a bit patchy. It doesn't really work the best as a green, and I can get away by using it like this in the outer V because I can pack it on and not blend too much. But it's not my favorite of the palette, and actually the only dud I feel like for this palette. For today, to be honest, this is enough structure to my eye look. I just have a crease color and an outer V color, and now I am going to go in with the Camo palette, and I think obviously I'm just gonna use this middle shade right here all over my lid, and then go in the outer corner with this one, I think. I just took it with my finger, look at the shine of this marble, and I'm gonna apply it gently and carefully all over my lid. I didn't apply an extra glitter glue, and to be honest, it's not really necessary, as you can see, for application. This is really impactful. What can help, it's maybe for longevity, because these eyeshadow, the marble eyeshadows from Glam Shop are quite emollient, and therefore they tend to crease sooner than other eyeshadows. With a little brush, I'm taking this other shade and just applying it on the outer part of my lid to blend it into the matte and just make it a little bit more seamless and effortless. Quickly using my Navel Cosmetics eyeliner pencil to deepen the lash line up and lower on the just outer third. That's what I always do, and I really don't want to finish this pencil, so I'm not going to set myself goals for them. But now I can again take a leaf on the lower lash line with the same Rephr, what is it, 14 pen brush. To be honest, these Rephr brushes are so good. So good. With a smaller brush, I'm taking the first shade in the palette, in the Camo palette right here, which is like a yellow duochrome, and just applying it in there. So note to self, don't do your base makeup before your eyes when you use these palettes, because my under eye is quite nicely green right now. Doesn't matter because I'm not going anywhere today, but still. I'm gonna clean up and do my other eye and come back. Here we go, other eye and mascara done. I had a casualty, this matte shade right here from the Glam palette, Camo palette, just fell out and it's broken on my desk. It's, I don't know, fate that tells me I should just depot this palette, keep the shades I like, and get rid of the rest, maybe. But let's move on now to blush. I think I'm gonna go quite just neutral and warm, and I'm going to mix these two shades from the Ghost palette. I often do that. And be careful because it's always more pigmented than I expect. So I often just go la 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 la, and then I end up with way too much blush. I always think of Hourglass as not so pigmented and a very buildable type of color, but to be honest, these are quite punchy, as you can see. Like, I have blush now. And a glowy one at that, and that's one of the best things about this palette right here. Now, moving on to lips, I put in two products that I would like to use at least 10 times, and those are this Jouer Mini in the shade Cherié and the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. This one is in my other project pan as well, and here I want to just reinforce to use it at least 10 times. And this is just because I forgot I had it, and it's a beautiful color, so I think I should use it at least 10 times this year. Let's apply it. Here we go, isn't it a gorgeous color? I love it a lot. And while I wait for this to dry to then apply the gloss, I'm going to show you the other products that I want to finish. I mentioned the Herborian Bamboo Matte cream that I want to finish. I have some hair products, and specifically this Living Proof Perfect Hair Day 5-in-1 Styling Treatment. It doesn't want enough for my hair. I used it today as well, and I want to finish that one. And then, that I didn't insert in my other project pan because I forgot, I want to get my collection of hand and foot creams down because I barely ever use them. And I have 2 foot creams and like 5 hand creams or so. I talked about it a bit in my inventory. So the ones that I have already in my bedside table and I want to finish are the Hand Chemistry Pro Repair Skincare for Hands and the Heal Chemistry Stops the Hard Skin Cycle. They're both from the Chemistry brand, which is under the Deciem umbrella. And these are the best hand and foot cream I've ever tried. Like, you don't need to do one of these salicylic acid foot masks to get rid of all your dead skin with this one. It will take care of it by itself. It's really good. And this one right here, it really leaves my hands feeling, yeah, nice and fresh. They don't wrinkle. They are youthful. They feel youthful. It's both like actual skincare for your hands and feet, not just a nice moisturizer. They have actives in here. So those are the products that I chose, and there's, as I said, 10 to be finished and 12 to be used 10 times. I am keeping track on my bullet journal right here. I still need to make it pretty with a title and everything, but at least I wrote down the items and I can tick off a few items from today. Now let's finish this look by applying the Fenty Gloss Bomb. Here we go. I don't love this gloss, and hence I need to want to use it at least 10 times and maybe just toss it. It's just so full that I don't want to toss it already. That's a bit it. So here is the finished look. Here is a new project pan. You can follow everything on Instagram under the hashtag 22 in meno or 22 less, it says, but I'll put it here because it's in Italian. It's 2 Italian friends of mine who have started this hashtag and this project, and you don't have to be Italian to do it, but the hashtag is in Italian. So don't forget to check that out and check the 2 girls who started it in my description box, and all the products will also be in the description box, and I'll do updates there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Get ready with me with some usefulness in it, I guess. And I hope you're having a great day so far. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.